Jim Jordan, who's been leading the good fight against the radical Dems for years. He's the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, great to have you with us.
Good to be with you, Lou.
The vote, I have to say, it was a strong statement, and I was very skeptical about it, but it was a strong statement today, and you guys ought to be proud of it.
Yeah, every Republican voted the right way, Lou, because they understand what's going on. They understand the unfair and partisan process that Speaker Pelosi and Adam Schiff are running. I've been saying this for I don't know how long, but think about this. They're trying to impeach the President of the United States 13 months before an election based on an anonymous whistleblower with no firsthand knowledge, who was biased against the President, who worked with Joe Biden, and that's their basis. This guy, and when the call happened, and this whistleblower gets information from somebody who leaked it to him, he writes a memo that says, it was a terrible call, frightening call. But then he waits 18 days until he files the complaint. And just as the president was saying, guess who he runs off and sees first? Adam Schiff's staff. And nobody tells us that he talks to Adam Schiff's staff. Adam Schiff doesn't report it. And when the form that you're supposed to fill out when you're filing a whistleblower complaint, there's a box to check. Did you talk with people on Capitol Hill? This whistleblower failed to check that. So people see this for what it is, and it was good to see every single Republican vote the right way tonight on the floor.
And this Intelligence Committee chair, Adam Schiff, is back-channeling with two Russian disc jockeys, I guess is the way to describe them, looking for dirt on the President of the United States, looking like the buffoon that he portrays in so many of his official moments.
Yeah. I mean, go back to how this started. We were told by everyone, Adam Schiff, Pelosi, that, there's this call where the president supposedly says, I'm going to hold up Ukrainian security assistance money unless there's an investigation in the Bidens. And then we get the transcript and find out, wow, that didn't take place. In fact, everyone said when you read the transcript, even Democrat chairman, no quid pro quo. Then President Trump and President Zelensky meet and they say, look, no pressure, no linkage, no pushing, no quid pro quo. And then we have the special envoy, Ambassador Kurt Volker, come and testify, and he says the same thing. No quid pro quo whatsoever. But that doesn't stop them, because they're bound and determined to go after this president, so they keep doing their investigation down in the basement of the Capitol where no one can get in and can see, no one gets to read the transcripts. They selectively leak information. They schedule depositions at the same time so that you can't be two places at once and actually question these people. That's the kind of investigation they're running, and American people, again, see through it. They understand this process is unfair.
Yeah, it's not only unfair, it's a travesty, and it's a pure ignorance on the part of the radical Dems. And look at them now. Schiff and Pelosi have run away to Jordan and Afghanistan as if in a matter of a few hours, discussion in both countries, they will have a superior understanding of Syria and Afghanistan. I mean, it is preposterous what we're witnessing, and their conduct is just horrific.
Yeah, look, I tell you who I want to hear from. When the whistleblower complaint, you look at the whistleblower's, so-called whistleblower's complaint, on page 1, bullet point 1, he says, over the past 4 months, I have communicated with more than a half a dozen U.S. officials. That's what formed the basis of his complaint. I want to know who these people are. I want to know who the whistleblower is. To my knowledge, the only person who knows who the whistleblower is and who these more than half a dozen people are who informed the whistleblower and formed the basis of his complaint is Adam Schiff and his staff. Why doesn't the American people get to know this? The people who supposedly had the firsthand knowledge who communicated with this so-called whistleblower. We're talking about impeaching the President of the United States, 300 and some million people in this country, and only Adam Schiff and his staff gets to know who the individual and the handful of individuals who started this whole charade that we're now living through.
I presume that the head of the CIA also knows, because in point of fact, they are CIA officers or are former CIA officers. And don't you find it interesting that the CIA keeps working its way into this, into the architecture of this absolute absurd fraud being perpetrated on the American people?
Yeah, the other person who may know too, Lou, is the Inspector General. I'd like to have a chance to question this guy at some point as well and find out what kind of investigation he did and the people he got to talk to, because we haven't got to talk to those people. And the American people have no idea who these more than half a dozen, as the whistleblower says, who these individuals are, who the whistleblower communicated with, and then filed this complaint. But again, remember, He didn't file this complaint until he or she didn't file this complaint until they went off and talked to Adam Schiff and their staff.
Well, as the president pointed out, and I think profoundly, they never expected, Adam Schiff and all of his Cretan friends, they never expected the president to release the transcript of that conversation. So despite everything else, all of the nonsense, all of the conspiracy and orchestration, the American people have right before their very eyes the transcript of that call. And the question is, are you going to believe these partisan subversives, or are you going to believe your lying eyes as you sit there reading it? The facts speak for themselves. As the president said, it was perfect. I will qualify that. It was near perfect. Congressman, great to see you. Thanks so much for all you do. Congressman Jim Jordan, appreciate it.